Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch. A new website keeps track of homophobic slurs through social media.
As the website shows, this kind of language is being used almost every second of every day.
Flu season is approaching, and Alberta Health Services is offering new ways to get vaccinated.
We're urging people to get their vaccine.
And some Alberta beef farmers aren't worried about the recent scare.
Canadian beef to me is still the best.
NAIT NewsWatch starts right now.
Good evening. A website developed in Edmonton has started to receive worldwide attention for its thought-provoking content.
Developers of the website nohomophobes.com are trying to shine a light on the use of homophobic slurs online. Our own Emily Fitzpatrick joins us live from our news center with more on that story.
Thanks, Heather and David. This website tracks the use of homophobic slurs on Twitter, and the results were far higher than anyone expected. NoHomophobes.com is an idea that came out of the University of Alberta. The website monitors and tracks the use of homophobic slurs on Twitter in real time.
As the website shows, this kind of language is being used almost every second of every day. We want people to think before they speak and think before they tweet.
Since the launch, the site is slowly gathering steam and receiving worldwide attention, even getting some celebrity endorsers, and the response has been mostly positive.
I think it's interesting. It's an opportunity where social media actually lines up with social marketing. And it's a great opportunity to explain the difference. Social marketing is changing people's behaviors to benefit society. Social media is kind of more the communication tool.
For people like Kyle Ball, this is a step in the right direction, and he hopes people will realize these words do have a meaning and do hurt.
Sometimes people used to call me faggot and that's gay, and I hate it when people say that's gay. Like one of my closest friends keeps saying that's gay, and he feels really bad when he says it, and I'm like, good, you should feel bad.
Dr. Wells says people are experiencing a range of different emotions when they see the thousands of slurs used each and every day.
People are shocked, they're horrified, and they're amazed all at the same time, right, when they see it.
The website doesn't monitor the context of the tweets, just the amount. But as Dr. Wells points out, there's not many positive ways in which you can use these slurs, so why use them at all?
That old nursery rhyme your parents used to tell you that sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, it's wrong, right? Words have the power to shape people's identities, their realities, and their possibilities in life. Words do hurt.
The website only launched a week and a half ago, but at the rate it's going, it's likely to be sticking around for a while.
Does the site have any goals for the future?
Well, Dr. Wells told me they'd like to have as many unique visitors to the website as they do offensive tweets. So right now they have around 300,000 visitors, and the tweets with the most is 2.7 million. So they have a ways to go, but they're confident.
How are they trying to accomplish this?
They're trying to get the attention of celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres. She has 13 million followers on Twitter, so one tweet from her about the website could make a huge difference.
Thanks, Emily. That's Emily Fitzpatrick live from our news center.
NAIT NewsWatch, Edmonton's #1 student newscast.
With flu season approaching, Albertans are being asked to protect themselves and others by getting the flu vaccination.
Beginning on October 15th, vaccines and the new nasal mist will be available to Albertans 6 months and older. Even if you got the shot last year, health officials are recommending that you get another one each season.
The virus changes every year, and the protection that you had from vaccine last year isn't as strong as it will be by getting this year's edition of the vaccine.
It will be easier to protect your kids with the addition of Flu Mist, a needle-free option exclusively for the 2 to 17 age group. Through trials, it was determined that this nasal spray is the most effective for kids, while adults still benefit most from the injection. Due to emergency room crowding in previous years because of the flu, Dr. Jerry Preddy is hoping that patients take the initiative.
Influenza vaccination is not just there to protect you and your family, but also to help us ensure that people have the access for other services that they need.
Other ways to protect yourself and your family from getting sick include washing your hands, coughing and sneezing into your elbow, and refraining from touching your face. If you are sick, stay home instead of spreading germs around.
There's a variety of things that people can do that are just relatively common sense that can protect themselves.
Alberta Health Services says that although there is no separate H1N1 shot, this season's vaccine should protect against the virus as well as the common flu. Both the shot and flu mist are free of cost to the public and will be available at free clinics, pharmacies, and doctors' offices.
The XL Food Plant released a statement explaining that they are working with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to overcome this month's E. coli outbreak. The plant will reopen when it's no longer seen as a risk to Canadians' health, which is a relief to ranchers. Cow producers have dealt with a lot in the last few years, ranging from BSE or mad cow disease to drought. Now dealing with the meat recall, one Alberta producer is optimistic.
Come on, girls.
Clay Stump is a Charolais breeder in Leduc County. Since the meat recall and shutdown of the XL Food Plant in Brooks, he says it makes some producers nervous.
The price of cattle have come down since this all started, and since they closed the plant now, I think it's the producers are a little worried of the cost of production.
With the plant shut down, cattle producers can't send their yield to be slaughtered and must hold on to them longer. This means buying more feed from grain farmers who are also feeling the strain. But Stump doesn't think this will be the case for much longer.
We'll be back hopefully within a week or two. XL will be back in production because they do slaughter 4,000 head a day, which is a big number of cattle. And they are the third largest packing plant in Canada. So.
Alberta Health Services maintains that the public should take the usual precautions with raw meat and make sure that it is well cooked. As for Stump, he's happy right where he is.
Well, we always overcome. Same as we overcame BSE and drought and everything else. Canadians are a lot more sustainable to what happens, and a lot of us are in it for the long run.
The XL Food Plant has been temporarily closed since September 28th, as 5 cases of E. coli have been linked to meat originating from the plant.
Edmonton police are investigating the murder of a young man inside his northeast Edmonton home. The incident occurred September 28th in a townhouse on the corner of 132nd Street and 47th Avenue. Police have not released any details of the victim's name or age. Anyone with information on the case is encouraged to call EPS or Crime Stoppers.
Someone out there knows what took place. Someone out there knows what happened. We need their help.
The murder marks Edmonton's 23rd homicide this year.
Communities within the city can now apply to reduce speed limits. On Wednesday, Council voted to allow all 150 neighborhoods in the city to vote on reducing speed limits by up to 10 kilometers an hour. For the vote to pass, there must be 67% approval as opposed to the 60% approval needed previously. Currently, residents concerned with people going over the speed limit can phone the city and complain. In order to apply for speed limit reductions, residents can submit their applications to their respective community leagues.
A foreign food fight. NAIT chefs are battling for gold at the Culinary Olympics. The 5-day event starts today in Germany and is the largest culinary arts exhibition in the world. Over 2,000 professional chefs pit their best dishes against one another. NAIT is sending a team of 4 students to the competition.
We've been practicing for almost 6 months now, but there's still nerves. Just keep scrolling it, but we just have to go and do it.
They have worked really hard and they have come to the stage where we feel very confident that yes, they will be successful in the international competition.
The Culinary Olympics occur every 4 years. Coming up after the break, students are missing out on some free cash.
Many scholarships are being overlooked by NAIT students.
Well, I personally just got here, and I don't know if I really have the grades to get a scholarship.
I'm Adam Brills. Coming up in sports, the Edmonton Oil Kings played a game against Prince Albert Raiders. I'll have all the highlights coming up next in sports.
Well, it's been a rainy and cloudy week, but with temperatures dipping down into the single digits. But things are looking up as we go into next week. I'm Gordon Leung, and I've got your weather forecast right after the break.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
The 39th annual bridge building competition was hosted by NAIT's Construction Engineering Technology program this past Saturday.
Organizers teamed up with the Edmonton Food Bank for the very first time. It's a timed event, so unless teams wanted to face a time penalty, they were required to bring a minimum of 30 pounds of food to the competition.
We're very pleased to announce that our 8 teams brought in 500 pounds of food. So a very big haul. The minimum would have been 240 pounds.
Groups of 10 to 15 worked together to set up their bridges, cross the creek 30 times with a dummy simulating an injury, and return the equipment with the fastest time possible.
It's a good team building exercise, and it's definitely worth it.
The competition takes place every year around this time at White Mud Creek Park.
After a warm start to the season, it seems like fall has finally caught up with us.
Godwin Lung is outside with us for weather. How's it looking out there?
It's looking great out here. I mean, we've got rain, we've had frost, and that's mainly due to a big ridge of high pressure that's been tracking down from the north. And now that the clouds have cleared away, temperatures should be bumping right back up. So let's take a look at the boards for tomorrow. Over in Calgary, we have sunny, high of 19, low of 3. Over to Jasper, it's sunny, high of 14, a low of 0. Over to Fort McMurray now, it's mainly cloudy, 20% chance of rain, high of 12, low of 4. And in the capital, it's a mix of sun and cloud, 10% chance of rain, high of 17, low of 4. Your average high temperature for today is 14, and your record highs and lows, 27 in 1943 and minus 11 in 1970.
Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
So it's looking like we'll be having temperatures similar to those back in September. Something to be thankful for over Thanksgiving.
I definitely know that I am.
Well, it's not 27 degrees, but I guess we'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Godwin. Students here at NAIT have been missing out on picking up some free cash.
Scholarships are constantly being overlooked by students. Our reporter Kevin Thomas has more.
It's become a common trend that students not only at NAIT, but at many post-secondary institutions are not applying for scholarships. The reasoning as to why this is seems to follow a pattern.
Well, I personally just got here, and I don't know if I really have the grades to get a scholarship.
They the same thing as me. They feel like they won't get it. Or it's just, they forget or they don't know about it.
There are a wide assortment of scholarships that students can apply for, ranging in value from $500 to several $1,000s. April from the Bursaries office explains what types of scholarships are available to receive.
We get a few hundred applications for each semester, so that includes our entrance awards, our fall awards, and our winter awards. So they would be different groups of students applying for each of those.
Students have almost 250 scholarships to choose from and almost 500 positions to fill. However, deadlines to apply are still being pushed back due to a lack of applicants. Requests for scholarships can only be denied if they do not meet certain criteria, such as the correct program or year of enrollment. Besides spending some time filling out the proper paperwork, hopeful students have nothing to lose from trying.
You put in that time and you get an award for $500 to $5,000. It would pay off in the end, I think.
For more information on scholarships and to find out if you are eligible, you can visit NAIT's Scholarships and Bursaries page at www.nait.ca. Kevin Thomas, NAIT NewsWatch.
Adam joined us in the studio for sports. So, Adam, the Oil Kings aimed to get a victory against Prince Albert this week.
Meanwhile, the Edmonton Rush welcomed their first overall draft pick.
Yes, guys, and NAIT's men's hockey team is getting ready for another season. Of all that and more coming up in sports. The defending champions of the Western Hockey League had a tough test on Thursday night. The Edmonton Oil Kings were looking to keep a strong start to the season intact against Prince Albert. The Oil Kings were aiming for their 4th win in 5 games, but Prince Albert's goaltending looked to be strong in the early going as Stéphane Legault was stoned on a breakaway. Down 2-0, it looked like Edmonton finally got a break midway through the game when Curtis Lazar tapped the puck in. But after discussion, the referees deemed that Lazar scored after the whistle was blown, disallowing the first goal of the Oil Kings night. Contest-driven fans littered the ice with pucks in the intermission, and it brought the crowd and home team to life. That goal by Travis Sawanek could be the only goal of the night as Prince Albert stayed undefeated with a 4-1 victory.
We got to make sure that we're ready to play the next game. We were better tonight than we were last game, but it wasn't good enough, and we have to understand that last year is last year.
After a run to the championships ended with a silver medal last season, NAIT's men's hockey team will be looking to win with some new faces. The Ukes made a shocking run to the ACAC final last year. They lost to Augustana in the finals after coming back to beat the top-ranked Mount Royal Cougars in the semis. And although there were 7 additions to the team, head coach Serge Lajoie is not worried about the new players.
It's to be expected. There's always going to be a healthy balance of returning players and new players coming into the fold. So it's just a matter of making sure that the way we want our team to play, that's communicated clearly, and we pay attention to details in practice and during games.
The Ukes season starts October 12th as they host the Keano Huskies. Another Edmonton sports team made big waves in their league's annual draft, grabbing one of the most praised draft picks in recent memory. With the first overall pick, the Edmonton Rush selected Mark Matthews in the National Lacrosse League draft. Matthews, a product of Denver University, has been tearing up the lacrosse world recently after 4 successful seasons with the Pioneers. At one point, Matthews had an astonishing 45-game point streak, the 5th longest in college sports. And Matthews is looking forward to this season.
This next year, I hope we can get back there, maybe even get the win, and from now on, hopefully we can have the name of the Edmonton Rush on that trophy, and someone that's frequent to the finals, and hopefully with some championships.
With a strong offensive core, Matthews might just be the missing piece this team has been looking for. The Rush are aiming for a near repeat of last season, where they surprised the league before losing in the Champions Cup final. The Golden Bears are aiming to snap out of what has been 2 tough seasons. The Bears' most recent win was last year, but that was after UBC was forced to forfeit the matchup. And according to quarterback Curtis Dell, the team has to focus on basics.
Offense has to do a better job in production, and defense has to do a better job, stopping the run and stopping, opposing teams. So execution's kind of our big thing here coming in this week.
The U of A will have to bring their A game against their next opponents in Calgary. The Colts are seeded 2nd in the country, and the provincial battle will take place October 12th. As a kid, skipping rocks on water was common practice. However, as I learned at this week's End Zone Challenge, throwing rocks on ice isn't as easy as you think. To the modern man, curling seems like a pretty simple sport. All you have to do is throw a rock from one end to the other on a sheet of ice. But this game has really evolved from simple beginnings. Well, that is, if you want to be the best of the best.
Try to, you got to stay in shape if you want to be one of the top teams in the world these days. It's not a beer drinker sport like it used to be. So yeah, we work out pretty hard.
It all starts with the delivery. The thrower gets instructions for weight, turn, and line, which will most certainly impact his throw. After that, the thrower pushes off from the hack and depends on one major element.
Balance. You got to have good balance if you're coming out of the hack if you want to hit the broom and stuff like that.
The second part of every shot is the sweep, aiming to get over the red hog line. John Morris, who exceeds in this, describes why it's so tough.
Just making sure you maximize the pressure on the broom. A lot of people, they'll sweep too wide, or they won't be putting enough pressure on it. So just getting in a really athletic stance and trusting yourself that you're not going to fall on your butt on the ice.
Well, before they started the practice, I decided to have myself a go. It took me quite a few attempts, along with accelerated video and 3 of their 4 members before I finally got it down from one end of the ice to the other. When it comes to a long-term curling career, I'd probably take Kevin Martin's advice.
Just get out to your club and have at it, have fun with it. And most of the curling clubs, anywhere you go, will have people that teach curling. So just get in there, just walk out here without anybody at all. Just have some fun for a while, and then get some instruction.
And one final tidbit by John Morris wrapped it all up.
The good news is you didn't hog it. So what happens if you hog it? You would have had it all around.
It was a really fun experience. I'd like to thank Kevin Martin and his crew and the Saville Sports Center for helping me out with that experience.
It sounds more complicated than it looks.
Oh, it is. That balance is very tough. It's like you're on the ice, you're throwing a rock, it's just wobbly. It's crazy.
Nice work, Adam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, we take a sneak peek at the Scarecrow Festival.
We head over to Grace Martin Elementary to decorate pumpkins.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
It's an exciting week for entertainment in Edmonton. We have A Few Good Men at the Citadel Theatre, plus a Halloween play at Fort Edmonton Park. All that and more coming up in entertainment.
This is NAIT NewsWatch.
The 20th Annual Scarecrow Festival begins next Friday at the Edmonton Expo Centre, and it's all for a great cause.
The festival is the main fundraiser for ABC Head Start, a program aimed at helping low-income families and their kids prepare for future success. We got a chance to help kick off the event.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Media from around Edmonton gathered at Grace Martin Elementary to take part in a pumpkin decorating contest. The cause it supports is a meaningful one.
We raise funds for ABC Head Start, and it's a wonderful preschool program for low-income families.
The program is aimed at preparing preschoolers for kindergarten. It helps kids to learn routines, how to behave in school, and helps those with learning disabilities.
You really do notice a difference between children that have attended ABC Head Start versus children just going into kindergarten.
Those attending the Scarecrow Festival can look forward to lots of fun while making a difference. Proceeds from the festival go to ABC Head Start. For more information, visit www.abcheadstart.org. Next up, we have entertainment. With Halloween coming up, there are bound to be some fun and spooky events heading our way.
That's right. I hear there's a new play at Fort Edmonton Park that might have something to do with magic. Also, our entertainment reporter Annika Notveit gives us a preview of Taken 2.
An old military drama makes a new appearance. A Few Good Men is playing at the Citadel Theatre.
If you haven't talked to a witness or looked at a piece of paper...
The Citadel got together with the Royal Manitoba Theatre Centre to put on the show. It follows the murder of a U.S. Marine at Guantanamo Bay who is believed to be killed by his comrades. A Few Good Men first hit Broadway in 1989, yet director James McDonald explains the relevancy of the story today.
There's so many parallels now because war is so palpable for us, and because the enemies of war are so uncertain. I think the actions of the soldiers in the war zone are even more under the glare of public scrutiny now, particularly because of things like the internet and 24-hour cable TV.
The performance, running until October 7th, is receiving rave reviews.
I want them to have a cracking good time, with a great story, full of suspense and great characters and really funny dialogue in places, so hopefully they'll have a fantastic time.
There are lots of entertainment events in Edmonton this coming week. At the Winspear Centre, Grammy Award-winning music artist Angelique Kidjo will be performing her uplifting music on October 10th at 8 p.m. Also, Chai Plays Chopin is a concert performed by the pianist Catherine Chai, a Canadian classical music star. She will be live at the Winspear Centre October 12th at 7:30 p.m. Next weekend, the Scarecrow Festival finale is at the Edmonton Expo Centre. This event features spooky games, face painting, stories, cookie decorating, and a haunted house. The event runs all weekend and is a great way to spend some time this Halloween season with the whole family. Joe Avati, a world-renowned comedian, will be performing at the Citadel Theatre. We're giving away free tickets for his show tonight. To win, tweet your name at NAIT NewsWatch, and the first 5 people will receive free admission for Joe Avati tonight at 8 p.m. Poof, the musical promises to leave you spellbound. Capitol Theatre at Fort Edmonton Park is putting on a spooky play in time for Halloween. Here's a sneak peek of the show.
There is no time to waste. You're outnumbered by the beast. Pull out your wand.
The play, written by local Nick Green, is about a teenage witch who wants to live a normal life. Her mom wants her to stay in the evil world. What will she choose? Garrett Ross plays the role of the mother.
A few things that I wanted to base the character around, so I modeled it a bit after like some of the Disney lady villains, like Ursula from Little Mermaid and Cruella de Vil.
Tickets can be purchased at the Fort Edmonton Park website. The opening show is on Thursday and runs until October 21st.
Fort Edmonton Park's just a really unique place to have a theater. People can come down. The park's closed to the public typically at this time of year, so you can kind of see it at a different time and have a really unique experience.
Liam Neeson is back. Unstoppable, protective, and commanding, he will grab your attention and take you captive. Check out Taken 2.
What are you going to do?
What I do best.
Taken 2 sees the return of Liam Neeson as Brian Mills, the retired CIA agent. This time, it includes the whole family. The family vacation in Istanbul doesn't go as planned. The father of Kim's kidnappers are back for revenge.
We'll have our revenge.
First, Brian's wife is taken hostage. Then, he himself is taken.
Take one of the guns and 2 of the grenades. You have 30 minutes. This is not a game.
How will Kim rescue her parents? Not without her dad, that's for sure.
He is here. And I will kill them too.
Taken 2, in theaters now. After the popularity of the YouTube video Gangnam Style, it sure didn't take long for the parodies to start. Check out this slower acoustic version of Gangnam Style.
오빤 Gangnam Style. 오빤 Gangnam Style. 오빤 Gangnam Style. 오빤 Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. 오빤 Gangnam Style.
Well, that's all for entertainment. With all these fun opportunities, make sure you get out and take advantage of them. Back to you, Heather and David.
Thanks, Annika. For the first time ever, Big Brother, after 14 seasons, is coming to Canada.
Auditions are happening now. Do you have what it takes?
What's up, Big Brother Canada? Welcome to my audition video.
Applicants sent in videos to get into Edmonton, Calgary, Halifax, Montreal, or Toronto auditions. One of our very own editors, Stevie Wild, sent in a video and went to Calgary for auditions.
I'm a Canadian rock star and legend.
It's going to be pretty fun to see people I could potentially know on the show for the first time.
The first season of Big Brother Canada is launching February 2013.
Well, all the best, Stevie. We hope you go far in the competition, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder how long he had to stay in line for.
I don't know, but all I know is it takes a lot of guts to go up there in front of those judges.
Yes, it does. Well, we want to thank you very much for watching this night, and have a great rest of your holiday weekend. You can check us out on NAIT NewsWatch.ca.